First, I'm going to talk about the victims. As you know, there was one deceased. There were 6 individuals that were taken to Trinitas Regional Medical Center. 2 have been discharged. There is 1 individual at University Medical Center. 2 have been taken to Beth Israel in Newark, and 5 individuals are at St. Barnabas Hospital, 2 of which are in critical condition, and 3 are stable. 1 individual on that day refused medical attention, and there was 1 fatality. There were 16 structures impacted in total. 3 will be demolished, as you can see behind me. 2 of the structures on both sides are being assessed by a structural engineer. There is 1 on Bond Street behind us that will need a structural engineer report as well, that is deemed unsafe. The internal structure contained 3 stoves. There was 1 on the, I'm going to talk about the ground floor. There is no basement. There's a ground floor, a first floor, and a second floor. Stoves have been removed from the first floor and the second floor at this time, and the piping behind those stoves have been removed. The internal structure on the ground floor, behind the initial wall where there's a garage for an automobile to be parked. And as you can see, we are not fully back there yet. But the ground floor contained a bedroom, a bathroom, a small room, a kitchen behind that wall, which we have deemed an illegal conversion. We have collected all of the reports from the building department. There are no permits for anything on that ground floor. The ground floor's electricity and gas was coming from a different unit. That is still to be determined on how that ground floor was getting its utilities. We are not aware at this time on how that ground floor was getting its utilities. It is obvious, and all of the experts that I've been working with agree, that there is a breach in the gas line that caused this explosion on Wednesday morning. The origin of the blast at this time is still undetermined. On Monday morning of this week, the gas company was notified, or there was a scheduled turn-on for the gas company to come to the apartment on the first floor and turn on the gas. It was a scheduled appointment. I don't know when the appointment was scheduled, but I do know it was scheduled. The gas company arrived on Monday morning and found that the unit was already receiving gas for the unit. What the city would like to ask, and what we do not know at this time, is when did the gas company arrive, and what did they do when they arrived here and found out that the gas was already going through the unit. Sometime Monday evening, the father of the deceased, the gentleman by the name of Mr. Brown, smelled gas. These are where some of the discrepancies occur. He assumed that a conversation was had with another tenant with the landlord. There are numerous discrepancies, some of which I will address, some of which you may have questions. Some report having conversations with the owner. The owner says that his son smelled gas, but did not go into the apartments to check. However, the smell dissipated, and the bottom line is that no one ever called any emergency numbers on Monday or Tuesday to report gas. Allegedly, the gas was turned off in September on the first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor. Allegedly, the gas was turned off in September when the previous tenant left and a new tenant moved in on October 1st. When the new tenant first viewed the apartment through our conversations in September, when the tenant looked at the apartment, there was a gas dryer in place on the first floor. However, when that tenant moved in, the gas dryer was not there. It is possible that when that gas dryer dryer was removed, it was not capped properly, and possibly caused the leak when the gas was eventually turned on that first floor. Which date that was turned on, we do not know at this time. Also in the evening on Tuesday, the smell was overwhelming, one of the tenants report, and she opened up the windows to abate the smell. It was said at that time that the owner was notified in the evening. However, the owner says that he was not on the property in the evening, he was on the property in the afternoon to collect rents. Let me be clear, this is not a carbon monoxide episode, nor is there any sign of propane. This is a natural gas incident. Some residents after the blast complained about the smell of gas. A leak was existing on that corner on Catherine and Magnolia Avenue. Those two incidents are not related. The gas company addressed the leak on that corner during the evening of the blast. There were 3 dogs rescued. There were some personal values that were recovered from the units at great risk to the first responders that have been going in over the last day and a half. There have been 2 gas meters that were identified. However, on the ground floor tenant had no account with Public Service Electric and no account with Elizabethtown Gas Company. Interviews with the victims as well as family members are ongoing. However, due to injuries and the sensitivity of the situation, this process will take some more time. I will gladly update next week and answer any questions. I've talked to the Union County Prosecutor's Office. I've asked them to be on the scene. The way the investigation is being handled at this time is the gas company has been here, except for now they left. I don't know why, but they've left the scene. But they have been taking out the utilities, they have been taking out the appliances. The Union County Sheriff's Department, the Elizabeth Police Department, the Elizabeth Fire Department have been photographing the meters with what the usage was on the meters, with the serial numbers on the meters. They have been shrink wrapping the stoves and the gas pipes in order to eventually get to the bottom of the investigation, determine the origin, and determine the exact cause. Questions?
Mayor, what reaction do you get from the Elizabethtown Gas Company as to these findings, especially on Monday?
We have not talked formally with the Elizabethtown Gas Company. I would expect that they're not going to make themselves available and they will send in lawyers, but they were here on Monday. What happened on Monday, the gas company must answer to. That's one of the discrepancies. The owner was, tenants supposedly told the owner in the evening. The owner says he was not here in the evening, he was here in the afternoon with his son. His son did not smell any gas because the windows were open. So that, no one called anybody. There's discrepancies in conversation on who told what when. The person who died lived on the first floor. Ground floor, first floor, second floor. The person who died lived on the first floor. Correct? The person who died lived on the top floor, the second floor. Ground floor, first floor, second floor. That's right, I'm sorry, I was incorrect. The person who died lived on the second floor